sewing no more. This is my last one for today. I have fabric. And I am going to make my favorite team scarf. This is a fabric that I got. And when I tell you it's my favorite, it is winning this year. I love all the different pictures, images, whatever you want to call them, that they have captured in this one fabric. And honestly, because I didn't get a whole yard of it, a few of them are missing. I'm going to lay it this way. And then I'm going to turn it over so you can get into it. So, I need this to be 22 inches wide to go on my scarf. And I'm going to fold it in half. I don't even know how long this whole thing is, but I just need 22 inches again to go on my scarf. Now I did find some measure from there to here, so that's gonna be 22 inches, and I'm just gonna cut that. And I do have some more over here. Anyway, this is going to be in the scarf, and more than likely it will be turned this way when it's time to create it. Let me cut off any little extra that I have up here. Because I don't need that. Now, the top is not even either, because that's how it came off. So I have to straighten this up as well. That as straight as I can possibly cut it straight. So this is something that I generally do like every year. All right, that is the width I need. Honestly, let me turn it this way as well to see what it looked like this way. All right, so it's gonna be sideways when I put it up there. Alright, so you set that to the side. I do have this gray, but let me show you a sample one that I have. It's a different team. Now, this one is one that I made a long time ago, and it's very, I know it's not time here for it yet. Hey, Shonda. I just did a whole live looking for you. So I said, let me pop up again. I didn't plan on sewing again, but I said I'm going to go ahead and do my scarf for the year. My little infinity scarf for my team. So this is basically a, I guess you could say, a sample of what they look like. So if I had to give out the measurements, if I'm not mistaken, the width is about, my measuring tape. I want to say the width is about 20-ish. Let me get my measuring tape. It is, yeah, about 22 inches. How long did I cut this one? Okay, so yeah, it's about that wide. Now the length on this one, I think it's about 72 inches. Child, my bad. I'm cooking, cleaning, and doing. I knew you was. So the length on this side is 36 inches, so the whole thing will be 72 inches. So that's 2 yards. So it's 2 yards by 22. So that's the size of the entire project. So I had some fabrics laying around, and I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and make it with what I have, because I'm not going to buy no fabric. So I do have to cut this one some. I'm going to cut it and make sure it's even. And I have to, this is a little gray fabric that I had in the cut. So, I'm actually, you know what, you missed it earlier. I was making headbands. Now I'm going to go ahead and make my team scarf for the year, because I normally make me one every year, and it's been a long time since I made one. So I'm just go ahead and make one. Now I need to measure the width of this. This needs to be 22 inches to match the width of this piece of fabric, because it's going to be a continuous piece of fabric. And honestly, I can fold this a little bit more so it can look a little better. You know what I'm saying? So, like that. And these can be made with any type of team. This is just a team one that I'm putting on. So I'm gonna fold this in half, and I want to be able to. Am I doing it on the right side? Hold on, I might need this on the stretch. Hold on. This might be even worse than I thought it was, as far as the length and the width. Let me get it together. Hold on. So we want it this way because I want, let me see how long it'll be if I do it this way. Because whatever I miss in length, I can go and try to make up with the other piece of fabric that I found. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fold this like that. Give me a little extra right quick. There we go. All right. So now I can go ahead and cut across this one. And I'm going to turn it this way so I can cut it. So it can be in front of me. So I just needed that one wide enough to make it. And I'm also cutting it along the stretch because I want it to go around. And I don't want it to not be on the stretch. So, cut these straight across. Alright, that extra piece can go to the side. And any little extra piece here can go. So yeah, I ended up finding this little piece here, and it's a little awkward, I mean, in color. However, it is some type of gray on this. It's some shades of gray in there. So we're going to make that thing work today. Okay. And when I fold this in half, it's basically the same length, if not a little longer than this one. So it'll make it perfect, because it'll be just enough for me to put it around to make a long scarf. So to start putting my scarf together, this is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to open it all the way up like this. Then I'm going to place this one right side together, because what's going to happen is, with me joining these together, I'm going to sew it across here, and when I open it up, it's going to be all the, it's still going to be lying straight across. It's just going to kind of create a continuous piece of fabric, if that makes sense. So I'm going to lay this down, and let me grab my pins. I can pin these in place, and these are super easy to make. These were like one of my first, this is like one of the first fall items that I used to create when I did, when I was heavy on ETSY. because the people absolutely loved customized scarves, especially infinity scarves. And it's not cold yet, but stay with me. You are so awesome working with those adult scissors, child. I would be missing a limb. I think I can sew in my head, but watching you, I'ma just keep watching though. Shonda, what I'm gonna do with you? You always say that, be about adult scissors. So I'm gonna stitch across here first. That's gonna be my first step. Because like I said, I'm just gonna make a continuous piece of fabric. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. Of course, we're gonna back stitch. Okay, then I'm back stitch that. And then I'm gonna use my adult scissors, like Shonda say, to go ahead and cut any extra piece off. Let me take my pins off because of course I don't want to get pinched. But I'm gonna take all this extra off. And it's really no perfect way to sew. But yeah, I do have excess sometimes when I sew. But I feel like that's the fun part. You do what you want to do in your own space. Okay, so that is how that's going to look, right? Now what I'm going to do is take my little colorful piece and I'm going to basically do the same thing. I'm going to take the long part and I'm going to put these right sides together. Oh, wait a minute. Right sides together. And I'll pin these together like this. Again, as you can see, my edges are not perfect, but we're going to run this stitch across and we're going to cut off whatever excess we do have, okay? So I'm going to do another straight stitch and I'm going to go across here. I'm going to back stitch first. I should have added more pins. And I'm gonna back stitch. And I'm gonna cut whatever extra I have off. Let me pull my pins off because I am not trying to get poked today. So of course I have a little extra left over, and that's gonna get cut off like this. Pieces. So basically that part you can see is cut together, well, it's sewn together. I said cut together. You can see how those parts came out, and this is the other part that has the team fabric on it. So I have these 3 different pieces going on. It look crazy, but we're gonna get to it. So what I'm going to do is fold everything in half. Everything is going to get folded in half, and everything is going to get pinned together the long way. And of course, I'm always going to pin it right sides together, because we're going to sew on the opposite side. So I'm going to go ahead and add some pins to this side. Then I'm going to pull it towards me because it's a long piece of fabric. And everything else, trying to put them together. This is such a long piece of fabric. But I'm going to go and stop and focus on where these two join right here, because I want them to stay, you know, joined when I sew it together. So now I can go back and add what I'm going to add to the middle of this, which might be clips, because it might be easier and quicker. Then I don't have to worry about getting poked. How about that? And I can clip it here. Then I'm going to keep pulling it my way until I get it right. And everything, again, is going to be turned together. And pinned together. And I'm not even, at this point, even if it's uneven, I'm not even worried about it, because I still have to stitch it down. So it's not even a big deal. Now this piece of fabric is the pain here, this one right here, because it's so stretchy. And don't mind the laughing in the background. Did you get any other? We got a lot of rain, that's about it, thankfully. And then like after that, after, you know, all the rain was coming down, it was like some tornado warnings that never you know, did anything over here, thankfully. How were you over there? Because I heard they stretch all the way out, like towards your way, somewhat. Like as far as the rain and the wind and stuff like that. I went and fixed me something to eat, and I was so unbothered. Even when they got to talking about the teas, I was like, oh, the devil is alive. I think I came up here and I was telling somebody else that. I think I was telling Pepper. I was like, oh, girl, it ain't coming over here. We ain't worried about that. So basically because I pinned everything together, I folded it, and I have to stitch all the way down that long piece. Thank goodness we got good. Yes, a little bit of rain. That's it. I was looking at all those videos, and I seen all that damage. I was like, oh my goodness. I think I stayed up late looking at a lot of those videos. Just looking at it, like what that water did. Like, it was crazy. I'm not even worried about all the extra fabric left on that side. Child, work was off the chain yesterday. So many claims and total losses. I almost quit 10 times. Oh man, I know it was crazy in the midst of that storm. And without a storm, it's crazy. I know it was a Red Cup Friday going on. Okay, I'm gonna back stitch when I get to the end. And then of course I know I got a lot I gotta cut off the side of this one. And I ain't even worried about it. Cause it's still gonna be cute. You gotta trust the process, honey. You gotta trust it. Especially when it's time to sew. My goodness. This thing long. Okay. Now, of course, I could use my serger and cut the side, but the funny thing about this, I don't even think when I first started making these, I didn't even have a serger. So this was one of those projects that you don't even need one for real at all. Because who's going to turn it inside out and look and see if it's serged? Only a lunatic. Or unless it's somebody that's trying to remake it. Okay, so keep on cutting. Keep on cutting. Keep on cutting. Okay. Now I do have to cut a little bit of this because of how I cut it. And that's not that great at the top, but I'm cool with that. So now this is how you get down to the nitty gritty of this. Okay, so everything is inside out. I have to turn it right side out. So the entire piece I have to turn around like this, right? So that's kind of how it's going to look, as a scarf. But To close it out, y'all ain't gonna believe this, I'm gonna have to turn it around again to close it out the right way. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to pull it in some, and then I have to match the other end once I start pulling it inside out. And again, I like to match up the seams. So this seam and this seam together. Hold on, is that it? Yeah, that's the seam. I'm going to put them together. And I'm going to use my pins to put those together. Like this. Okay. Hold it back up like this. Then I'm going to add some more pins and go around the circle. I said, then we got all that storm just for it to turn around and be like 85 degrees and feel like it's 88 degrees today. I was like, come on, are you kidding me? But I can't complain. I just turned the air on and kept on moving. Because I am so grateful today. Put that there. And then turn this way. And everything is pretty much ready to sew around this. Now I'm going to have to leave this much right here because I have to turn it inside out. In other news, your nephew over here trying to talk us into homeschooling because he saw it on YouTube Kids. That's right. His mommy and daddy said no, he just don't like getting up for school. Don't be doing him. Them babies smart. They like, what we going there for? They ain't teaching nothing. You better leave nephew alone. He trying to tell y'all something. You gotta pick up what they be putting down. You know, they know more than us. Some of them do. Not, grown folks stuff. But he gotta go to that ghetto school and that ghetto existence. So he's able to express it by letting you know, what am I going for? Everybody ain't got to do this no more. We got everything we need online. So I'm a back stitch. Let me stop. Nephew gonna have me cut up. He is. And we gonna go around. Shoot, nephew said, what? What? They don't even go. What am I going for? He said they ain't talking about nothing. They going there, don't know how to act. He don't have time for that. Just like you said, it's ghetto outside, and he hear us talking about how ghetto it is outside. That baby know it's ghetto too. Yes, indeed. On my other side, I'm gonna pull some of these pins out. Now I'm going to back stitch because I'm getting ready to leave this little opening right here. Here we go. With my little pins because I don't want to get poked and prod today. So basically, now this is the entire scarf. And what I'm going to do is use this hole to turn it inside out. Right side out. Well, I love saying inside out for some reason. And as you can see, everything is coming through the way it needs to come through. Everything is laying the way it needs to lay. And it's given uniform. Let me stop. But no, the only other part you have to do to close this project out is this is open, and we're going to turn it inward like that. And then I'm going to add a couple pins to it. And then I'm gonna stitch that part closed, and that's gonna be it, like for real. And then of course I need to stitch all the way to close these. You want to start a little bit further out, you know, where the opening is, and go across, and then a little further out where the opening is, and it's going to close it up just right. And this is the last part to my scarf. Sure, I'm going to start over here. There we go. Okay, back stitch. Take my little pins out as I go. Then I back stitch once I get to the end of that one, and that has basically closed up the scarf. So this is what's going on. I'm gonna try it on so you can really see what it look like. Okay, here we go. Now you can always change it and add as much as you want to the scarf. Now mind you, this scarf will be worn with other items. So this basically is what it's giving. It gives different layers, and you can always play with the different colors and patterns. I really don't like how this fabric came out. I'm used to dealing with something that's more stiff like this, but I basically made it work. And it gave me an opportunity to add my team to it and do what I, you know what I'm saying? Then I can pair it up with different colors that correspond with this, or I can just wear it or do what I want to do with it. I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. Again, the measurements was 72 inches by 22. Now you can go in and cut your little color blocks how you want. The width of the color blocks will definitely be at least 22 inches because it depends on how wide you want it. So that's how mine is able to be wider and things of that nature. And it's a little longer than what I wanted. I can always change it. For real, for real. I can cut it down. I just don't like this fabric. But I made it do what it do. So I can, you know, do it like that if I wanted to. It's all what you want to do. Thank you, Shonda. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. I'm gonna come right back, Shonda, and we gonna chop it up. We gonna talk on that live. I'm trying to separate the sewing and my big mouth stuff. If you get what I'm saying. I'll be right back.